You're lying in bed, replaying something someone said about you today, a comment, a look, a tone you can't shake, and your mind keeps treating it like something that happened to you, like a fact stamped onto who you are. Here's the claim that's about to sound strange. It never touched you. Not really. Epictetus had a way of testing exactly what's yours and what isn't, and it's stricter than any self-help slogan about not caring what people think. It's a mechanical test, almost cold, and once you run it, that comment stops having anywhere to land. In a moment, I'll walk you through that exact test, the one he applied to your body, your house, even your own name. And you'll watch someone's judgment fail it the same way everything else does. But the real payoff comes later, when this stops being a nice idea and turns into something you can actually run. Tonight, the next time a verdict stings before you even feel it. So start with the checklist Epictetus actually used, because it's stricter than it sounds. Start with the checklist Epictetus actually used, because it's stricter than it sounds. Your body. Yours? Not quite. Anyone stronger can bind it, anyone can break it, or put it in a cell. Your property, then? Can you keep it exactly as long as you please? No. Fire, theft, a bad year, a signature on the wrong document, and it's gone. Your family? You can love them completely and still not command what happens to them. Your reputation, the thing people say about you at dinner when you're not in the room. That was never in your hands either. One by one, everything you'd normally call mine fails a very specific test. Not the test of importance, the test of control. If something can be taken, blocked, or handed to you by someone else's whim, it was already living on the wrong side of the page. So what's left? After the body, the house, the horses, the good name, after all of it gets crossed off, Epictetus points to one thing still standing. Assent. The act of agreeing that something is true, or deciding to move toward it or away from it. No one can force you to believe a lie you can see through. No one can make the judgment for you. He asks it almost like a riddle. Is despising death your own act or someone else's? And the answer is immediate. It's yours, only yours, because judgment can't be reached into from outside. That's the entire column. Not your feelings about what happens, not the outcome, just the quiet motion of deciding what a thing means. Small as it sounds, it's the only property line that's ever held. Now bring that back to the thing that actually keeps you up at night, what someone else thinks of you. Here's the reframe most people miss. That opinion isn't an event happening to you. It's an event happening in them. It's their judgment, produced by their mind, using their history and their fears and their bad day. It fails the ownership test exactly like your house did. You can't have it whenever you please, exactly as you please, because it was never yours to have. Epictetus put it almost bluntly. Other people's verdicts have no access to the things that are actually yours. And there's a strange comfort hiding in that. He called a person's own settled judgments a kind of fortress. No wall thicker, no armor harder. Not because you've built better defenses, because the attack was aimed at a door that was never on your house. But here's the part that should bother you a little, because it bothered Marcus Aurelius too. He noticed something odd late at night. Every person claims to love himself best, and yet most of us weigh a stranger's opinion of us heavier than our own. We'll dismiss our own quiet certainty about who we are and lose sleep over what a neighbor thinks instead. Why fear the verdict of someone whose mind you haven't even examined? Marcus's advice was almost mischievous. Actually, look at the people whose judgment terrifies you. Look at what they think of themselves. you'll often find it's shakier than the thing you were afraid to lose. That asymmetry, trusting outside verdicts over your own, is the actual wound underneath caring what people think. So ask yourself Marcus's own question tonight. Whose self-judgment are you quietly trusting more than your own, and why? Tell me in the comments who came to mind. Now, the honest objection, if none of this touches you, doesn't that make you free to be careless, rude, unaccountable, indifferent to the people around you? It's a fair challenge, and the Stoics weren't actually arguing for that. Emerson drew the line better than almost anyone. It's easy to live by the world's opinion when you're in the world, and easy to live by your own when you're alone. The rare thing is doing the second while standing in the middle of the first, keeping the independence of solitude while still in the crowd. That's not withdrawal. You still show up, still keep promises, still raise the kids and answer the emails. The dichotomy was never a license to stop caring about people. It was permission to stop being governed by their verdicts while you do. Here's where the mechanism turns from idea into relief. Epictetus tells the story of two brothers, Eteocles and Polynices, who tore a kingdom apart, fighting over which of them owned it. But no one owns a kingdom. Not really, not in the way he means owns. It can be lost, seized, inherited away. Their war wasn't a war over a thing. It was a war over an opinion about a thing. Every grudge you've ever nursed over what someone thinks of you runs on the same engine. Two people fighting over territory, neither one actually holds the deed to. The fight doesn't get resolved. It dissolves, the instant somebody draws the line correctly. So picture that page from the start again. The line down the middle, almost everything crowded onto the far side, and one small thing sitting alone on yours. It was never a wall keeping people out. It was just an honest map, drawn once, of where you've actually been standing the entire time. You didn't have to fight your way there. You just had to stop mistaking their side of the page for yours. Their opinion can walk right up to that line every single time and find there's simply nowhere left for it to go. Not because you hardened yourself against it, but because the line was accurate before you ever felt anything about it. That's the whole trick, and it's smaller than people expect. Not caring less. Knowing precisely where you end and someone else begins. Next time a verdict lands on you and stings, try running the sort before you run the feeling. Ask which column it actually belongs in. And if you're willing, tell me in the comments which side of that line has been hardest for you to keep straight. That's usually the one worth drawing again.